The person in the year who's action be taken, that's soldiers. Yeah, they ever catch a boys. But from now going, the boys name who's action be taking here. Your mama, you baby, are calling free by. And yes, sir, then soon you'll give this.
I said this morning to one of the radio stations that one of the things that I would do would be to take stock of all abandoned and uncompleted projects, first and foremost, including schools and other things. Well, I think that where the funding sources are the same, we will not continue, we will not start fresh ones until we complete the existing ones. For instance, if we're having an uncompleted school building, which is being funded by GET Fund, we do not have to be, starting new ones when we've not completed the old one. So we have to complete the old ones, and then when we get new funding, we go there and then start, if you like, new ones in the places that we think we should. So with the Commander Sugar Factory, we have no option there to bring it back with military speed. In fact, airplane speed. If you like light speed, because we have no option, my brother. If you look at the amount of money that has gone into that project and where it is now, I think it is in the heart of President Mahama that this project comes back to life as soon as possible. And we will make sure all that we can do to support this project. Already the people of Central Region have embraced this project, and all that we are waiting for is to make sure that it comes to life. And that.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. My name is Ania Fompof. We thank God for giving us yet another day to go through the issues of the country. Lots and lots are happening. We'll have the opportunity to discuss these and understand exactly where to take us from and where we'll be going to. But for now, we'll go through the headlines of the papers. I start over the Daily Graphic, and it says, President Mahama asks Asante Hene to help address economic woes. Constitution Review Committee formed. Experts to present recommendations in 5 months. Declare assets before taking office. Charges public officers in new government. 8 killed in clashes with military at Anglo Gold Ashanti or Boise mine. The Ghanaian Times, bloody, 15 people dead, houses torched in Obuasi in Kwanta clashes. Okay, let me pick this one. Multi-billion dollar investment signals new era of industrial transformation for West Africa. Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh chairs Constitutional Review Committee. Government provides lifeline to SHSs. Ghana on high alert for acute respiratory infections. JHS. The new crusading guide, 7 illegal miners killed in fierce gun battle with military at Anglo Gold Ashanti mines. Elijeko Foundation leads first aid training in Benin. Krabwa coal tar chief dispute over 2 deaths. Ni Turno with chiefs, elders, Lord Linda Oklu's appointment. Chamber of Brilliant Traders congratulates Sami Jemfi. Newmont honors Victoria Ejekumwa as best female mining engineering graduate. That's at the top right corner of the new crusading guide. The inside newspaper. Ghana's elections, a deadly game of Russian roulette as in EC's neglect of accountability and responsibility for state security. John Mahama's oath to do justice must start with GPHA ex-workers. Why aren't you at The Hague? Palestinian journalists dragged from U.S. Secretary of State briefing following April. Mahama government cautioned over privatization of ECG. Court of Appeal acquits Ogawe elders of Adan in a contempt case. The Inquisitor, ugly happenings, robbery in MPP, Asachi Mafia, Bill Gates seek to control party. President Mahama is using Jata jet for free. Nadu Mills visits JM. Fire officers are not insured. That's the Ghana National Fire Service. Ediji Tamaklo appointed as acting CEO of NPA. The Herald, $94 million missing gold cash and MIF's financial rot exposed. Japa royalties, mother's birth, expensive astroturfs, untraceable mining equipment, and questionable deals. Ofosu Kwache quells taxpayer concerns over Mahama's private jet use. Insists they are free of charge. From Ibrahim. Haruna Agboja Erikopoku to be vetted today. The Herald welcomes Springfield Energy anti-national interest lawsuit. Randy Abe to replace Joseph Edu at Cocoa Board. AFCFTA Secretary General commends Dr. Baumia on statesmanship support. The Statesman, new Sunyani chief to champion environmental cleanliness. Jan Twa pushes for nuclear power to boost industrial growth. I came in peace and left in peace. Akufo-Addo proud of legacy. Many dead in Anglo Gold NDC tax clash. Lower courts disrespects for Superior Court eroding confidence in judiciary. The Ghanaian publisher, Akufo-Addo gives thanks to God. I did my best for Ghana. Military kills 7 illegal miners in Obuasi. Mahama orders investigation. EC appeals for security to complete Ablekuma North coalition. And then we also have Honorable Intim Fojo slams Mahama over LGBTQ plus U-turn. The Custodian. I came and left office in peace. Akufo-Addo thanks God. Bahama sacks retirees. African School of Governance opens soon. Press sets up Constitutional Review Committee. The Daily Post. NCT Biochemical debunks claims by Achim Hene and apologizes to Okow Hene that Sebre Ekwamwa Japan II. Meet the newly appointed CEOs by Mahama. President, well, we have the pictures of Sami Jemfi, Eduje Tamaklo. Sami Jemfi is going for Precious Minerals Marketing Board. Eduji is for the National Petroleum Authority, and Yaira Koku for the National Identification Authority. President Mahama pledges to enhance infrastructure development in Ashanti region. Mahama orders probe into deadly Obuasi clash. Okay, so the other CEOs here also includes MFR Hardcastle Petroleum Commission, Edward Bauer, Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. Feji Awono also is for the Bulk Oil Storage and Transport Company Limited post. All right, so that's the headlines that we have for you this morning. Let's take a breather. I'll be back shortly.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN Rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Didn't tell me anything. Yeah. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Ghana Post.
Hey, na no fe ukwanya wo kasa ubwako umuse.
Enya me brother Mr. Happiness na ehame. Me see wo hu say Ghana Post aye fast, reliable and affordable nti. Na nsen na numa ye ni de edwanye kuma me di e de koma no e fa Ghana Post. We di ni nyina. Eni se wasa aswan masa kodidwa me de ko Ghana Post yo. We ko bi kakra Ajene kakra akrantie so shase Ghana Post,
the most affordable delivery option for food and merchandise from Ghana to everywhere in the world. Connect with us today and see for yourself. Ghana Post, smart secure deliveries.
Mensa coming package in less than 5 days. Ghana Post, they make life they be. Ghana Post will deliver to you wherever you are in the world.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Great music,
Excellent service, great company, and meat galore. The Alisa Friday Barbecue. It's fun on Fridays at Alisa.
Attention all farmers, are you ready to take your crops to the next level? Introducing 3 effective organic composts that will revolutionize your farming practices. ACAP, KCAP and Iricop brings to you the ultimate solution for your fertilizer needs. Introducing the ACAP Grade A, KCAP Equiafua Jinkwa and the Iricop with cocoa blends, palm blend and mulch. These are made from locally sourced municipal solid waste, and these are the perfect choice for sustainable farming. Join the organic revolution today. Boost your crop yield, improve soil health, and support sustainable farming practices. Choose ACAP, KCAP, and Iricop organic compost for a greener and bountiful harvest. For your purchase and more information, call the numbers on your screen. Our products are endorsed by COCOBOD, Planting for Food and Jobs, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashphone store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashphone, feel it, know it.
was there myself, and I come out you want to pay 3 a.m. midnight. And you won't get it to this matter. No one is above the law. Please. Nobody is above the law. Please, I beg you. We admit that they didn't do well. We admit. So I had a young woman there. We admit, and you'll be concession. But not to kill the person. Straight bullet to the head. I don't know. I don't know.
Boss, IGP, Wadawuma, the ATN said, your friend Jibrin Musa, Chairman Zambo, Obuasi West Constituency Vice Chairman. Boss, the ATN said, Boys and Yamusu grew Cantano. No, soldier for so move, continue move to the point to higher abandoned place. Omo muko ye bituma nyoma no da no mun soldier for ni ana call by. If you call me by now, so the police start to say, almost 2 1 shot, almost starting this straight bullets. I gave my voice. Outside the fence. Yen na yako he, o share baby a ma pain nipa ti ko kura won. Na free dada nyina ama for ba ho. Ama mo ko inside ko mo ko chi nipa e mo nkum wo mo. Na nde outside. Last year boys no ko ho mo mpa mo. Eti dia na ba say your politics na ye mo pese ye mo ya. Ye de ye ni hweka ba soldiers no. The person in the year who's action we are taking that's soldiers. Yeah, they back as boys. But from now on, the boys name who's action we are taking here. Your mama, you baby are calling free by. And yes, sir, Jensen, you do this. I can't do more.
Abodiya na kwada na ma gaje abodiya ga gaje on abodiyan gajen zakin gajen no karaman tin amina da abodiya mun
Yanim Kroni company no. What you say? Yanim Krono eti company no. There was so many ways you be will company him. But ha ko for way. Eje, you don't yankopo samoma comedy e be ma command mo. Say eje ma comedy e yesu be ma command mo. In so many ways, yanim so many ways be ma command eje. Ada oko important ni amani free a on fan me fabo ase ana. What the name of free haba on farm the Fabuase or was the highway a 2 pair. We can block AGA within any second. Soldier for now, Mokubi. Still, Yawaha. Yanim Chronicity company no. What you say? Yanim Chrono, Eti company no. There was so many ways you be will company him. But ha ko for way. AGA, you don't yankopo samoma comedy e be ma command mo. Say AGA ma comedy e yesu be ma command mo. In so many ways, so many ways, but my command GG. Ada oko important ni amani free a on fan me fabo ase ana. What the name of free haba on fan me fabo ase. Obuasi highway a 2 pair. We can block AGA within any second. Soldier for now, Mokubi. Still, Yawaha. Yanim Chronicity company no. What you say? Yanim Chrono eti company no. There was so many ways you be will company him. But ha ko for way. AGA. You don't yankopo samoma comedy e be ma command mo. Say eje ma comedy e yesu be ma command mo.
All right, so those are just some excerpts coming in from Obuasi. We didn't really hear good news from the Anglo Gold site. And obviously, some of you may have heard the reports of persons who have lost their lives as a result of the clash with the youth and the military. We'll be getting into the issues very soon, but let me just remind you that MTN is still giving you some giveaways, and it says that, you know, from the Christmas season all the way till now, the package is still available for you. So with the Momo from MTN, it's love. When you loved, your loved one send you money from abroad onto the Momo wallet, you receive 300 megabytes free of charge. So it's free. You heard me right, free each time you receive money from Momo or via Momo. You automatically get 300 megabytes of data to go online and show your friends and family how you're celebrating the festivities. So let's make memories this Christmas. Encourage your loved ones and send their remittances directly to your Momo wallet. More love, more data, just Momo it, and everywhere you go is MTN. So just don't miss out. The package is still available right from the Christmas festivities, the holidays till now is still available. So just make sure that your Momo is through or via MTN. All right, this morning I have Dr. Ekiamwako, who is a medical doctor and also a member of the MPP communications team, who's joined me in the studio. You're welcome. Doc, how are you? Good morning to you. Happy to see you again too. Yes. When last did you come into the studio? Oh, then it's been a while. It's been a while. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome back. All right. So let me also welcome. I'm struggling how to start the introduction of this person because you wouldn't normally see her on screens. Yeah, it was more like a battle trying to get her into the studio yesterday, but she agreed, you know. And I'm glad that she actually did and agreed to come into the studio. So maybe you'll be seeing her face often. I hope so. Right? So we have the former CEO of the Youth Enterprise Support under the previous administration of the NDC. Yes, of the NDC. And then, yes, not MPP or the NDC before 2016 that Nanado took over. And also a member of the party I just mentioned, the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Helga Ayi Boeti, she's joined us in the studio. Thank you for coming. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Annie. But this one, I think your mischief is coming from Magu and Sami and Beatrice, who've been trying to you've been trying to drag me, and I think today you did well. So
I did well. I have to pat myself in the back.
No, but thank them.
It's been difficult.
Tormented me.
It's been difficult.
But I mean, happy to serve, happy to be here. So
yes, happy to have you. Very, very happy to have you, actually. So if you mentioned the CEOs in history, actually, she's one of them. Let me ask you, the Youth Enterprise Support, what happened to it after you exited? We put about some amount of money in that fund.
Well, when the NDC was in office, the amount we had to work with was about 10 million. It wasn't about, it was 10 million Ghana cedis, yes. And at the time it was about 2.6 or something million dollars. Yes, but it was converted to NEIP. The name was changed to NEIP.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. So that was what was changed to NEIP.
So that is what was changed to NEIP, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. But whilst we were there, we did all these the greenhouses and supported young businesses, etc.
Have you been able to follow through to see if it still has potential?
I mean, it's NEIP now, so it's what they have done. I can only speak to what we did.
What you did?
Yes, when we went government.
What were some of your achievements?
Oh, we built the greenhouse village in Dovenia. It was at the time the largest in Sub-Saharan Africa. We did 74 units and 1 nursery. And we put our young people in there. We're supplying to farmers market at the time, tomatoes, cucumbers, and capsicums. Yeah. And then we supported 66 businesses. Many of them are still thriving today. Yeah, I mean, one of our notable ones is Ashiba, and I think she's in Surugu, in the northern region. She does share butter. She exports to the UK and the US. In fact, President Mahama even referenced her when he was speaking in Canada. Yes. So that's a yes beneficiary.
Oh.
Yes. We have another one by the border in Western Region, Yamitra, who does aquaculture. So they are thriving. I mean, many of them are.
Many of them are thriving.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure that when we put in some resources, they're sustained, or the projects are sustained.
Trust me, there wasn't going to be any other way. And yes, we made sure that they understood that this is not just money for you to
squander.
Go and buy clothes or go and buy a car. It's money for you to utilize for work.
Yeah.
So most of them, we didn't even just give them money in full. We had a drawdown schedule. And so as and when, if you, for instance, we're building something, as and when you send us your schedule for payment, we pay directly. Even if you had to maybe order poultry beds or fingerlings, etc., we'll do the order directly so it comes to you. We just wanted to make sure that we closed, a lot of loops. Because, at the time, everybody was on government's head. All this free money we're just giving to, our own people, etc. So we wanted to be sure that the resources we had given will be utilized for what we gave it for. So, in a nutshell, that's what YES did.
Okay. So, let me just do a quick one on the phone lines. So let me read this before I go into the phone line. Professor Kobi Mensah, a marketing expert at the University of Ghana Business School, has introduced a groundbreaking software application, Admissions Checker, to streamline the university admissions process for senior high school students. The innovative tool uses students' West African Senior School Certificate Examination as WASSCE grades and high school courses to assess their eligibility for admission to various universities and programs, empowering students. Explaining the purpose of the software, Mr. Mensah stated that the software is designed to provide students with realistic choices and opportunities for university admissions. Okay, so let me just cut it short. It is the introduction of what is called Admissions Checker. So we know that there's probably going to be a lot of, changes within the educational sector. How is this going to add on to it? Let me go into the phone lines and engage Professor Kobi Mensah, I'm a lecturer, actually, at GIJ. Prof, thank you for your time, and you're welcome to Good Morning Ghana.
Thank you, Annie. You remind me of those days in class. The conversations, the debates, etc.
Yes.
Good job. I mean, whenever I hear your voice on radio, I just, cast my mind, TV, cast my mind back to the classroom.
Yeah, people don't know. I used to argue a lot in class.
Very, very, very. You and your lieutenant.
Yeah, Prof, thank you for your time. So it's Admissions Checker for universities. Is there anything to be likened to how the SHS, admissions, system works?
Yes, you see, the issue that we have currently is that we don't have sufficient facilities. I mean, everything in Ghana is very competitive, because the facilities are not enough. And unfortunately, the competition is not that clear for a lot of people. Our systems are very, very close-knit. And so it makes it difficult for you to have enough information to be able to assess your opportunities, in the competition. And so the same thing goes with from high school to university. Since I became a lecturer, when I came back to this country in 2013, every admission year, you get countless and countless of WhatsApps on your phone with friends and family members asking you whether the award can actually gain admission, even to the point that even the lecturers themselves, the awards struggle to find admissions because of the way the system is. And it's not a fault of the management, it's just because the country hasn't put enough resources, at the disposal of everybody. So along the line, I had the idea of trying to make sure that it can be simplified for people. And that was my solution for Admission Checker. So what we said is that you do not have to even wait until you are in your final year before you can find out whether School of Administration, it's possible for you to get an admission. So right from SS1, first term, you can put in your results, or parents can put in the results of their awards into the system to say, if my child should get this aggregate 12, at WASI, can they gain admission at the business school because they want to do accounting? Once you put it into the system with that terminal resource, the system will tell you your percentage of chances. So it would say you either have 20% or you have 90% chance of gaining admission at the business school. That will give you a certain clarity and reassurance, or a certain reality that indeed your child has to maintain the performance or has to improve on the performance if they want that particular course and from that particular university. And again, we said that, look, there are 70 plus universities, university colleges and technical universities in Ghana that had been certified by the Ghana accreditation, the GTEC. Now, you do not necessarily have to be at Legon, for example, if your grade would not permit you. There are other universities with equally good, opportunities that you can go to. So you have over 70 universities that we have actually coded into the system that you can check your chances against. So this is what we're trying to do.
So we have 70 universities coded into the system with their requirements, their grade requirements attached.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then when you enter your grades and you are sure of what you're getting, whether or not this university will. So how do students, make use of the software?
Okay, so we have made it as a web app instead of as an app, because we are aware that obviously not everybody has the kind of phones that you can download an app. So the web app means that you just have to type in the web address, as in www.admissionschecker.com. And then we have coded all the secondary schools in this country into the system. So you can imagine the elaborate work. For over 1 year, we were working on this. And so when you go, you register with your name and you choose the school that you are in, your high school. And then, of course, the registration is complete. Then you can check, you go into the checker where it says new check, and then you put in your results. As I said, you can put in your SS1 first term results, SS1 second term results. At every point in time, you want to check whether you have a chance, all right? You can even create a hypothetical results and say, should you get this result, what is your chance, all right? And so once you do the check, as I said, the algorithm is based on the requirement that the schools actually say are their cutoff point, all right? So that's what the algorithm does. And then we had actually put in a certain, some of the courses or some of the universities have particular, grade that you must have for a certain course, like chemistry, for example, or like physics. They want you to, get, a pass for that particular course. So we have tagged each of the courses with exact, cutoff that the universities are looking for. And then you put in your results and then you check, and then it tells you your grade. Then the system sends you a message, of your results. That is your admission checker result by email and by text message as well, and tell that yes, you have this percentage of chance.
How will this, we know that how the free SHS system has contributed to increasing the number of students who go through the system, that's the free SHS level, before into the university. Well, I'm not sure how the grades is looking like or are looking like now, but will this restrict more students from entering universities if they use this checker, or it will rather improve more students from getting into the university? And what's the margin of error when you enter your grades, of this algorithm?
All right, fantastic questions. Annie, you see, you want to be sure that your performance matches the requirement. So certainly, if there's a system that can tell you that this performance cannot take you to the course you want, then you have to set up. If it tells you that this performance can guarantee you a space, then you are sure that you have to keep up this performance, or even better, enhance it or improve it. So you can imagine that currently you have no clue whether aggregate. You see, there's a misconception. A lot of people think that NESN, you remember those days NESN, right? Most people, most science students, when they do not do well in science, they think that I want to go to do NES, right? You remember our time?
Yes,
our time.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
even my time, for example. Annie, currently, nursing, if you don't have aggregate 6 or 7, you can't do nursing in the University of Ghana. You cannot. It's on their website. But
well, that's good for me. Yes, because you know I've always been arguing when it comes to teachers, when it comes to nurses, when it comes to doctors and all that. Yeah. People will diverse and say, "Oh, let me go into teaching because I didn't get nursing, because I didn't get law into law school."
Exactly.
And that makes the system drop. And so when you want to argue for salary, increments, I don't have a reason to increase your salary because you are not giving me the results I expect. Yeah. Yes, your qualification does not really.
It is so, a lot of parents and students think that, if you're a science student, you got like aggregate 15 and you can't get medicine, go to do nursing. No way.
Yeah.
Nursing is 6, 7 strict. In fact, if you're not a science student, per the University of Ghana, if you go and check on their website, you have to have aggregate 6 if you want to do nursing. Even then, they will do you an exams. I mean, they will have you an exams to do, right? Now, so people send messages and say, "Oh, my daughter or my son want to do nursing." I say, "Wow, nursing, and you are having aggregate, 8, 10? You are not going to get in, all right?" So you can imagine that there's a system that tells you that with this aggregate, you can't do nursing. Then there's a reality check for you. You understand? So certainly, admission checker helps people to gain a lot more opportunities for their courses. Okay. Now, I was advising a parent, the daughter has complete A's throughout, but with, I think, one subject as B2, all right? And they're looking for medicine in the University of Ghana. I said, look, you're not going to get it. Why? Because say that, for example, and I'm not speaking for them, I'm just telling you what my research has shown me, right? Now, let's say that the University of Ghana Medical School has spaces for 200 people, okay? Sure that the application that you're going to receive, it will be about thousands, all right? So if they're using, your performance for assessment, certainly all those who got 6 are the ones they're going to choose first, right?
Yeah.
Now, I can assure you that you would have about 500 people, all of them getting 6. Now, so that means that they have only 200 space. So even those who have had 6, not all of them can make it. So what happens? Then it comes to the nitty-gritty of how you got your 1. So, for example, if I got 95 as A1, right?
Yeah.
And somebody got 98 as A1, which one will be chosen?
Okay, 95.
The one who got 98 as A1,
right?
Right. So then the competition then comes down to the exact, the score, not even the aggregate, but the raw score that actually made you get A or B2. And that's the reality. So in that sense, and the institution has to do that because they have only 200 spaces, all right? So they go to the raw scores before they can choose who qualifies. And then, of course, other things come in. So these details, parents do not have them, all right? And they think that, my son has got all A's, so he should be able to make it in the university medical school. I'm sorry, that's not the case because the university is supposed to be, resourced by the country. The country hasn't done enough to put in resources that could help the universities to take anyone who qualifies. So unfortunately, you've done your best, but you can't make it. And I tell people, look, there are institutions equally with good facilities. Now, UHAS has a medical school. UDS has a medical school. Now, the point is that everybody is thinking about the traditional universities, but there are equally new universities with fantastic resources. And you can imagine, medicine standard has to be the same across board, isn't it? It doesn't matter whether you're a new institution or you're an old institution. There should be the same standard across the university, and there is, all right? So I would say that while you're thinking about University of Ghana, also think about UHAS, also think about UDS, where because of tradition or because of history, people might not have, interest in applying, so that you can enhance your chances, and that's what Admission Checker does.
Well, I can understand the choices. I mean, you can't blame a student if they choose a university over the other, but I mean,
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about realistic chances, you know. So you have done your bit, but you have to be realistic. You understand the point? Yeah.
You didn't answer the question of the margin of error.
Oh, yes. As I said, you know, we have actually keyed in exactly, and as I said, 70 universities, about 2,000 courses. So you can look at the detail, the amount of detail that has gone into choosing. So we say that, you know, you couldn't have anything, you know, 100% foolproof because there are other external, you know, issues. So we say that about 95%, you know, so, you know, 5% error, 95% accuracy. The other thing are left to, you know, external, like I said, the spaces available. So admissions checker can say that you qualify obviously based on what has been pinned down as the cutoff point. But as I said, because resources aren't enough for everybody else, external forces can actually make it not you getting access. You understand?
Okay. Okay. So, do you have some collaboration with the universities for them to be aware that there's a system of this nature where they can also make use of it and share information on the platform if there's space for expansion on that platform?
Okay, not officially. We're yet to start official engagement with the universities that are interested. But during the building of this system, some universities were contacted. Those who didn't have their full information on their website, we had to contact them physically, you know, to have access, you know, to their cutoff point. I remember calling, you know, Accra Technical University on a number of occasions because we needed to verify some things that were not clear to us. All right. So we contacted them. Those who can have full information and up-to-date information on their website, we used them. Those who didn't have it, we had to contact them, you know, physically for those information. But we're yet to write to them on official collaboration so that we want to even plug in their admission processes into our system so that once the system tells you qualify for this course, you don't have to leave the website. You can just click on apply, and then you can apply to that university immediately. We're also coming up with a YouTube page as an information resource where we can tell people when admission forms are out, etc. Can you imagine the University of Ghana and KNUST's admission forms were out in March, all right? But a lot of people even came in to say, oh, I'm looking for admission form when it was closed. It was open in March. So if you are awaiting results, you could have even applied, and then when your results come, you go into the system to amend or to update your results. But a lot of people don't know, all right? So we're trying to do a YouTube page where some of the information that are not available to parents and students, we can tell them, all right? Even when it comes to accommodation, you're supposed to make 50% of the payment of fees before you can get access to accommodation portal. All these ones, parents don't know. And sometimes they make, they get admission and they are struggling to find accommodation processes.
I was going to let you go, but quickly, let me ask you, is there any payment when you use the platform?
Yes, it's a meager 5 cedis. In fact, we are very much aware of, you know, the circumstances. So it's just 5 cedis to assess. You know, obviously the designers, the developers, they have to be paid and the site has to be maintained, you know, the dollar rate, etc. So it's just about 5 cedis.
Thank you. Professor Kobe-Mensah, I'm grateful for your time.
I'm grateful too, Annie.
This morning. He's a political marketing expert and also a lecturer. Thank you so much for the explanation. All right. So it's good for students, it's good for parents, and it's good for universities. I think it makes the work easier. Admission checker. I was reading around over the weekend and I came across, you know, the project that's been launched. So I'm sure, as he's saying, they're going to create YouTube platform, and then you can also access on the website www.admissionschecker, and then you can access, just in case you want to see the information on there, of universities across the country. They've entered about 75 or so, he says, of universities. You want to have a word or two on this, Helga?
I mean, I think it's a good thing listening to Professor Mensah. Maybe if information goes out so that a lot of the people coming through SSS, you know, find out about this.
Yes.
because there's a lot of angst from parents and everything when universities are, when it's time for people to apply.
Yes.
So if they can just go into this thing, put in their results. I think he said something about SS1. You can even put in your results, SS2.
Yes.
Put in your results, so at least your chances of
yes.
getting in.
Yes.
And for instance, if SS2, your results telling you that, look, you can't get in, then you know that you've got to set up and do better for SS3.
Yes, yes.
But I think if the information goes, now there's social media and there's, everybody knows how to get onto the internet, etc. For young people to get to know that, look, you can go and do this, it's a step in the right direction.
Yes.
For me, anything that makes a process easy, I think is good.
Yes.
And when it's also not coming from government all the time, you see, it eases the pressure off government. So it's a good thing, it's a good initiative. If they could make it maybe 2 cities or even 1 city.
1 city.
Yes, the students, they don't have money.
5 cities is too high.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that, but actually.
The value of money has really gone down. It's
5
dropped.
cities is a bowl of cake
1 city now is really nothing.
Well, since you're advocating, let me be quiet on that one. But like I said, I think it's a very good step.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very good step. For me, anything that makes it easy to check your chances for admissions, it's a fantastic initiative.
Doc.
So I'll go and pay 5 cities and just check, even though I've finished SSS long ago.
Oh, you try that?
Yeah, I'll try.
That won't be bad.
A step in the right direction. Applications into university, I think, is one of the most stressful things in any adult.
Yes.
Because in tech, there was something we used to call elimination by round tactics. Because like he said, so many are going to get 8 A's. How many are going to enter medical school? That's where elimination by round tactics comes in. And during the campaign, I don't know if you had time to go through Dr. Bawumia's manifesto. There was something like that there. It's called the Centralized Applications Processing Service. So our goal was to centralize all university applications. So you buy one form. There's one form. You would definitely structure. Maybe your first choice school is University of Ghana. Definitely take first. Let me not get beaten by my alums. University of Ghana, and so on and so forth. So if for instance, KNUST gives you admission, you receive that instead of going out and buying forms, which comes at an extra cost, because you buy KNUST maybe 400, University of Ghana 400 here. That's how it is now. So we were seeking to eliminate that. You buy one form, there's one system, you apply. If you pass and you get admission into one school, you go to that same platform and then you receive it. But let's see if that's something that the new government will want to do, or they'll wait for us to come and do it. So.
Well, is there a reason for duplication for what Prof has done?
So I think
no, but that becomes like a private system. Like in the UK, in the US, like they have the MCATs, right? The one MCATs it goes to all the medical schools. Whichever one accepts you, you go onto their portal and you get it. Those are state sponsored. Of course, there will be other private platforms that make the process easier for you. But I think it's a step in the right direction if the state has something like that, because that becomes an extra cost, especially if you are looking at the very low income people, somebody who had to have support through the whole secondary school process to be able to get the education, and now they graduate, and to be able to have the best chance at getting into a good university, they need another 2,000 to be able to buy 4 forms to maximize their chances. So that was also directed at reducing the cost burden on parents for that. So it doesn't make what Prof is saying redundant. It can be supportive. This will just be free and government backed, so that it encompasses all.
I wish that if anything of that nature, government may want to collaborate and support, just to also, the PPP agreements is still welcome for now. Anyway, so that's what we have today, something that is coming from the academia, making the educational system a lot easier and a lot accessible. Now, let's turn our attention to the issue of...
There's one more thing I just wanted to chip in.
Yes.
So for instance, I went to Tech as well first, and then I went to University of Ghana. At any point, they know how many students they can take in, admit. Why sell so many forms? Because if you can take in a total of 4,000, why sell 20,000 forms? Why sell 30,000?
Yeah, when she mentioned the forms, I was wondering what's the form selling for?
Because
why are you selling forms?
Oh, now that's the system.
But I don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but why does the system create something like selling of forms? What is this for?
That's the way you apply it.
It's the universities.
So that's the way KNUST knows you're interested in studying this program or that program or that program.
Okay, but the universities know the intake number.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you know that, for instance, you have 2,000 that you can admit. So why sell 10,000 forms?
Okay.
But I guess that's another discussion for another day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem becomes then who gets the forms and who doesn't. Because they sell the forms before the exam. So before you buy the forms and say you choose medicine, you don't know that you're going to make the grade to be able to get it. So that becomes another problem. Sometimes you pick subjects that are a little out of your reach, your results come and then you don't get anything at all from the university. So if you pick medicine and you picked pharmacy, and you can't pick, they are grouped, then say you picked an engineering course, the third one will have to be a natural science or something, then your grade doesn't allow you to get any. You are staying at home because you bought the forms and applied before you even wrote the exam. So I think these are all things that we need to discuss and see how we can
These
make
are things that will be discussed
easier for students and parents.
Okay, so you can also take it up at home, especially with students. Discuss them at home. You can suggest, give us suggestions. We'll run it by Prof, the one who actually brought up this platform, because it's still for your use, and we'll make it easy for your university admission processes, just for you to get more information before you even think of any university. And like Helga reminded me, at any level at the SS stage, you can be checking which university will be accommodating your results that you're getting. So if SS1, SS2, and then before you get to SS3, then you know your potential and where you'll be getting to. Okay, so the biggest news that has happened to Ghana that we're talking about today is Obuasi. And interestingly, the newspapers have given us different number of dates, okay, not Daily Post, but Daily Graphic actually said that 15 people dead.
15?
Sorry, Ghanaian Times, 15 people dead. That's for Ghanaian Times. Houses torched in Obuasi in Kwanta clashes. We're expecting Adam Bona, security analyst, Dr. Adam Bona, to join us, and then he will, from the security side, tell us exactly what we need to know. Then we have also, so Ghanaian Times says 15. Daily Graphic said 8 killed in clash with military at Anglo Gold, Ashanti. We also have the New Crusading Guide said 7 illegal miners killed. 7 illegal miners killed. But I'd rather, Daily Crusading Guide, I'd rather you put the illegal into brackets, not just write it there like the illegal. No, the people are dead. You don't know whether they were really illegal miners. We are still investigating, so we have to be cautious with our reportage. So Crusading Guide said 7, Daily Graphic said 8, Ghanaian Times said 15. And we have okay, this didn't capture the number. So the Herald actually said, okay, the Herald also didn't give me the number. Okay, but here at Metro TV, in fact, the Daily Statesman played it safe. It said, many dead. The Daily Statesman said, many dead. It's as simple as that. Don't put a number to it. But, well, here at Metro TV, the number we gathered is 8. So we hope that we also got it right. The Ghanaian publisher said 7 illegal miners dead. Now, a lot of releases have come on this. So let me try and capture a few of these releases before I'll let the guests, come in. I start off with Anglo Gold. Is it this? Okay. Just a moment. IMF. Just give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can capture this one. All right. So Anglo Gold Ashanti. Anglo Gold Ashanti confirms incident on its Obuasi concession, Anglo Gold Ashanti Ghana confirmed that on the evening of 18th of January, an incident occurred in the fence operational area in the northern part of the company's Obuasi concession. A large group of armed illegal miners attempted to forcibly gain unauthorized access to the mine infrastructure. Authorities mobilized to defend against this attack and to ensure the safety and security of employees and those in the immediate surroundings. The authorities have confirmed that 7 illegal miners tragically lost their lives in this incident. And then that number of illegal miners and the member of the public security forces were injured. So a number of illegal miners and public were injured. The situation at the mine is currently calm, and the company is working closely with authorities. Our primary concerns is the safety and health of our employees and those in our community who have been directly impacted by the incident. Now, talk about those who've been impacted by the incident. We have a school that decided to close down because of this clash, and the school is Aga School, AGA. That is they wrote this letter, or this release came out on the 19th of January 2025. Temporary closure of school. Management has taken notice of the concerning security situation in Obuasi involving the burning of vehicles belonging to private entities and individuals, as well as damage to private properties. In order to safeguard lives and property, to promote the safety and welfare of our students, staff, parents, and all stakeholders, the Anglo Gold Ashanti School will be closed on Monday, January 20, 2025, and Tuesday, January 21, 2025. We're hopeful that calm will return to the town during this period, allowing us to reopen on Wednesday, January 23, 2025. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this decision may cause parents and guardians, and count on your cooperation, understanding, and cooperation. Thank you. Signed by Simon Peter K. Atakato, Executive Director, Anglo Gold Ashanti Schools. Member of Parliament for also Obuasi West released a statement, and I'm talking in the person of Kweku Kwarteng. Kweku Kwarteng said, "We all woke up this morning to news of an unfortunate encounter between small-scale miners in Obuasi and military personnel that has led to the death of a number of people and injured several others. My sincere condolences to the family and victims. God keep their souls. I have contacted both the Divisional Police Command and the Municipal Police Command, who have given assurance that investigations are being conducted into the unfortunate loss of lives and injuries to others. I'm confident that the Military Command is also reviewing the incident to uncover the details of the build-up to the unfortunate events and what exactly took place at the scene of the encounter. It is my expectation that our security agencies will put the findings of the review and investigation before His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. We urge government to speed up investigation and act swiftly on the findings to ensure that the law takes its course and that justice prevails. Once again, we send our sincere condolences to the families and loved ones of victims. May God help us all." This is coming from the Member of Parliament for Obuasi West Constituency, Kweku Kwarteng. Now, a release came from the presidency. The government wishes to express deep regret over the tragic loss of the 8 lives, and please take notes. Still, there's data confusion. Anglo Gold Ashanti said 7 people lost their lives. The president is also saying, 8 people. So maybe the president's handlers must reconcile with those on the ground. Unless life is life, 1 is 1 too many. So let's get the number correctly. Even Metro TV will have to work on that and see, because Anglo Gold is saying 7. Now, in response to the unfortunate incident, President John Dramani Mahama had ordered immediate investigating to determine the circumstances surrounding the clashes and ensure that any individuals found to have acted unlawful will be brought to justice. Government has, meanwhile, asked the management of Anglo Gold Ashanti to bear the medical expenses of the injured individuals fully and to facilitate the burial arrangement of those who have lost their lives. And the security agencies have also been tasked to take prompt action to restore peace in the area and implement measures to prevent similar occurrences. It's signed by Felix Kwachu Fosu, acting spokesperson to the president. Now, the Ghana Armed Forces also released a statement, and this is what the Ghana Armed Forces, remember the clash was between the people and the Ghana Armed Forces, issued by the Department of Public Relations General Headquarters, Burma Camp, Accra. Illegal miners fire at troops on duty at Anglo-Gold Ashanti mines. That's a caption. On Saturday, 18th of January 2025, at about 23 hours, at 11 p.m., illegal miners numbering about 60 breached the Anglo-Gold Ashanti mine, securing security fence, and introduced a Côte d'Ivoire or rump. No, a Côte D. I don't know what that means. Okay, let me read from here. Breached the Anglo-Gold Ashanti mine security fence and intruded the Côte D or rump. Now, the aim of the illegal miners was to enter the deep decline. Of the mines. The military patrol deployed on operational halt 2 duties at the mentioned location were fired up by the illegal miners when the soldiers tried to stop them from accessing the deep decline. The illegal miners were wielding locally manufactured rifles, pump-action guns, gas cylinders, knives, heavy-duty industrial bolts, cutters, axes, and machetes. The troops returned fire in self-defense. The shootout led to the death of 7 illegal miners and 1 seriously injured. The remaining illegal miners bolted away. A soldier who was also hit by the pellets from the pump-action guns and got injured has been treated. 6 pump-action BB cartridges were retrieved. And the Ghana Armed Forces wishes to reiterate its caution to all and sundry that the military personnel on authorized duty have the right to defend themselves, innocent civilians, the property, including the use of lethal force if necessary to preserve life. I wonder how these 2 sentences or phrases come together. Including the use of lethal force if necessary to preserve life. Now, I just want to take note that the Ghana Armed Forces must take note that even a criminal, their lives are in your hands. You don't have to even kill a criminal if you think of the person as a criminal. So if you have to use lethal force to preserve life, I don't know how these 2 phrases come together. But GAF wishes to urge all illegal miners to stay away from mining concessions and also desist from engaging troops and shootouts, since the consequences of such action could be fatal. I don't know if this is a warning. So it is signed by E. Agri-Kwashi, Brigadier General, Director General Public Relations. Note to editors for favor of publication, please copy to all media houses. So that is a release from the Ghana Armed Forces. Organized labor has taken note of the also unfortunate events in Obuasi, which has led to the death of several citizens. Fatal clash between the military guard and mining companies, illegal galamsey operators, brings to the fore the urgent need to ban the operations of all forms of mining with immediate effect. That's what organized labor is saying. Organized labor. So organized labor has repeatedly stated that our strong objection to the dangerous manner in which small-scale mining is done in our country. It destroys lives and damages our environments and water bodies. So we are, by this release, calling on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama within 2 weeks announce a total ban of all forms of mining, that's small-scale mining in Ghana. Organized labor will take additional steps if the president fails to heed our call to end this menace once and for all. Isn't that interesting? That's from organized labor. And My producers are speaking into my ears. I refuse to hear. So these are, one and a few releases that have come up. I will get, you to the police one. But let me take a quick breather. When I come back, the guests will join us in analyzing what we have just seen in Obuasi.
I mean, if the army is fired upon, they shouldn't fire back.
No.
Listen.
They shouldn't.
No.
Don't
the police.
No,
You see,
not lethal rounds.
The army
Not
is
lethal rounds.
trained not to be among civilians. Yes. They're trained to be on war front. You cannot tell me that what was the police? Why do we have the army protecting Anglo-Gold?
That's a different question, the conversation.
That's what has brought us here.
Let our people understand that you don't go and fire at the army.
It's okay. I mean, you can do that argument, but I'm saying that if you fire at the police and not the army, the police has various stages of crowd control and situations like this control. And they will know how to go about it. They are trained for that. And that's why they are put among civilians.
But the army, I mean, we all know.
You don't put army among civilians. Have you forgotten Ejura?
Even the army have no lethal rounds that they can use.
Yes.
They have no lethal rounds that they can use.
I think this issue is more about those who incited them.
It's okay to look at those who incited them, but let's look at before
the actions
before
of the army. I mean, their actions have always been some way. I think we have a security expert here.
Yes. Please, I think, where are my floor guys? Please, my guest is in. Yes. So many things are just wrong in this country. And they will give you very negative results before you probably start thinking, after Ejura, we're still using military to protect Anglo-Gold nations. I don't see the reason why we still have military in the mining sites. So you can describe it as war.
It's like it's a national security issue, especially in the mining areas.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN Rewards, Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Didn't tell me anything. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. And I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don't some slippers then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did it from there.
Yeah?
Happiness mattress where the dead for me.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Hey.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ashfoam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Attention all farmers. Are you ready to take your crops to the next level? Introducing 3 effective organic composts that will revolutionize your farming practices. ACAP, KCAP and Iricop brings to you the ultimate solution for your fertilizer needs. Introducing the ACAP Grade A, KCAP Equiafua Jinkwa and the Iricop with cocoa blends, palm blend and mulch. These are made from locally sourced municipal solid waste, and these are the perfect choice for sustainable farming. Join the organic revolution today. Boost your crop yield, improve soil health, and support sustainable farming practices. Choose ACAP, KCAP, and Iricop organic compost for a greener and bountiful harvest. For your purchase and more information, call the numbers on your screen. Our products are endorsed by COCOBOD, Planting for Food and Jobs, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually on my number, still.
One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and don't come down.
What's a good answer? But for me to give us the and some down.
Give us about me, sir.
The patron and some down.
Customer. Give us a tonto now.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada won yimfie dumie no ono nso nom.
This is Coastal Park, a well-demarcated gated community carved out to host your residential and commercial properties. With a minimum of 40,000 Ghana cedis, you too can own a piece of this serene site.
It's just 50 minutes drive from the Central University College, as well as just some 5 minutes drive from the Ningo Senior High School. More so, just in case you live somewhere in Adam and you want to take that excursion to many of those areas along the Volta estuary, this is the right property for you to invest in.
Great news from Estate Masters Limited. We're running a 10% discount promo on all sites to celebrate our 10th year anniversary. Join in the celebration by becoming an Estate Master. Enjoy benefits such as free site visits throughout the duration, free indenture, and free site plan. Contact us for more information. Remember, T's and C's apply. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. Barbara, good morning to you. I've seen your message. I hear you. All right, so I still have Helga Boedu, who is a former CEO of YES, and also Dr. Kia Amwako, a member of the MPP as well, and Dr. Adam Bona has joined us. He's a security expert. Adam Bona, thank you for your time. You're welcome. And you came in good time anyway, so thank you for joining us. But let me also say a very good morning to Pastor Anthony Kujo of Calvary Temple, ICGC Calvary Temple, Sakumono. No, it's Pentex Hills. Good morning to you, and I hope you're well. All right, so Adam, I think now that you're here, you will take us through, right? before I was making references to the number of deaths that the papers have reported. The Ghanaian Times says 7, others say 8, others say 7. And that is the data confusion that we can have sometimes when things, issues like these happen. Yeah, but you take us through. What do you have from your quarters, from your side?
From what reliable...
Your microphone is off. Okay, thanks.
Yes, good morning. And, I came in a bit late. Just like you said, I didn't leave it. So yes. I shouldn't give the excuse of traffic.
No.
I won't do that again.
Thank
I'm
you.
Usually 30 minutes early.
Apology
but
accepted.
For some reasons, it looks like today I couldn't leave early. From a reliable police source, the number is 9 or so, 9. That's at last night. When I checked from a reliable police source, I can't disclose, but I'm told it is 9. But it's from 9. Other unconfirmed sources, yes, this the Obuasi.
So we say that maybe those who were taken to the hospital were still losing some, no?
Yes, but the truth is that who took them to the hospital? Because then the incident happened. At what point were they taken to the hospital? Is a question we should be asking. And I say, at what point were they taken to the hospital? Some of these people, Muslims would usually bury as soon as possible. And so we need to know, do we have, because I'm also hearing it's about 15. At one breath, someone called me from Obuasi yesterday, someone I know saying the number is about 21. So let's wait. Yes, so let's wait. I'm sure the final number will come out. Just like the confusion in terms of the tally. We don't know how many people, but it is bad to lose one person because we are protecting our gold. To lose one person because we are protecting our gold. And so as far as I'm concerned, the confusion with regards to the number, what I have from a reliable police source is 9. But then I'm hearing other figures that are not confirmed. But let's wait. I'm sure the final tally will come out, because when these things happen, usually people bundle figures together and sometimes try to sensationalize some of these matters. So let's just wait and see what is going to happen. So, but basically, I think when I got in, I don't know whether it was on air or off air, you were talking about the military not being deployed in those areas.
Was supposed to be off air.
It was supposed to be off air. I'm sure your
my producers must
they did you in.
The messages that I'm receiving, Uncle Sampiale, Ambassador Sampiale has also texted, relax, you appear to be agitated. I can understand.
Well, in a situation like this, how are you going to be relaxed? I mean, this is very serious, not quite serious, very serious. 9 or 8 people, at least being killed in an extrajudicial manner. How is anyone, if you are level-headed? I have seen people on social media jubilate.
Jubilate over what?
Jubilate over those who have been killed. And I'm wondering how did we get here? I have seen people say, oh, you know what? These people belong to a certain political party and they've been taking the law into their own hands and they've been killed. And I'm just wondering, no. I mean, the blood in an MPP person is not purer than the blood in an NDC. And the reverse is true. Whether you like it or not, Galamsey, both NDC, MPP, NDC are guilty of, having some members within the party engage in Galamsey. And so when people die this way, and we get excited and we say, you know what, it's good they were killed, then you ask yourself, how did we get here? You have about at least 8 people getting killed. And some people, you go on social media. Social media, people are insulting one another, saying that it was good, they are hoodlums, it's good they were killed, it's good. And I'm saying, no, this cannot be. This can be. On a single day, you kill 8 people, or at least 8 people, and people get a cycle. But you see, Annie, the images I'm seeing, I have not got anybody who, I mean, I have you know, a good knowledge in ballistics. The images I'm seeing doesn't look like these people who were killed were fired at from a distance.
Close.
Very close. Because you see, if someone fires an AK-47 at an object, let's say in a cement wall, depending on how close you are, will determine the chunk that will come out, whether it will go through, depending on how
the impact of
the impact. It is the same thing. Just if you've seen an AK-47 impact in a wall, I'm using AK because that's what most people know. Fired into a wall at a close range, the impact is different from an impact that is going through someone from a distance, let's say 50 meters. And so my question is that I have seen the president's statement about, what do you call that? You know, it should be thoroughly investigated.
Investigated, yes.
Which I think is good. Yes, it should be thoroughly investigated. But the point is that were these people armed? I have heard a series of, a number of people say, what were they doing there? You see, as for what they were doing there, we all know why they are there. They went there, either someone employing them to go and do galamsey, or they went there on their own accord to go and do galamsey. And so why they were there, we already know. So it's a question that publicly, we all know why they are there. They went there to go and do galamsey, and we all know galamsey is illegal. But we do also know that the law does not permit, you know, our military officers, the law does not permit our security officers to fire at people indiscriminately. And so I'm looking at the images, and some of the images I've seen, I can't really look at them, meant that some took multiple gun wounds when multiple, you know, bullets went through them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Close range.
Close range.
Are you analyzing
and so
by
for
the
instance,
pictures
if you have this thing, and a bullet is fired at its close range, depending on the type of bullet, it will split. So you can see literally people's heads that are like watermelon, just exploded.
Oh, okay. So that is a close range.
You got what I'm trying to say. And so then you ask yourself, how close were they? I'm sure ballistically, those who are going to be forensically, you know, investigating this, will be able to tell. We are also told that they were armed. So there are two things which I'm expecting the investigative team to do. You see, when I fire a weapon at someone, there's something, the residue, you see the powder, the discharge, when you discharge a weapon, you would have, sometimes it's so fast, you won't see, but you leave some residue on you, on your fingers.
They call it GSR or something.
You'll get it, yes. You know what I'm trying to say. And so, if I did it close to you, chances are that you would have, you would
the
also,
residue,
you would
the
have,
effect of the
you
firing.
have some of the residue, you know, on you. These people seem to have been fired. We need to know, for what I'm seeing, it looks like either they were running or they were fired at facing the people. So if the soldiers are saying these people fired at them, either those they shot are the people who were the firers, who were firing, or some other persons behind them fired. I'm trying to analyze what I have seen. And so if they are in a line this way, and I am holding a weapon, and the soldiers are here and they fire, supposed to come to me first. So we want to find out, they only recovered BB cartridges.
Yeah.
So if I'm holding a weapon and you fired at me and I fell, touch wood, you have to recover my BB cartridges and the weapon. I don't know if you, unless of course, the BB cartridges fell out of maybe my pump action weapon, and you know, they took the pump action and left the BB cartridges. Or else those who were firing were behind me, and they were so good, they could stand behind me and raise their weapons this way at the soldiers and fire at them.
Okay.
Are you making sense of what I'm
yes.
saying? And so there is a lot of inconsistencies.
Yes, obviously.
I'm only trying to delve into the inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Because then you recovered BB cartridges. Fair enough. You said they were firing locally manufactured weapons and pump actions. You didn't recover any of them. You shot at them. You know,
They said they recovered 6 pump actions.
was it there and there?
No, in the press release.
In the press release,
Yeah.
okay.
6
So,
pump action, No, sorry, 6 pump action BB cartridges. Okay, you're right.
so BB cartridges are not
No
pump
pump
actions.
actions,
BB cartridges, we use them for the normal hunter's gun. You can use them for, they are for shotguns and the rest. You can use them also for some sophisticated pump actions. So if you recovered BB cartridges, I am asking you, they were firing at you, you shot at them, recovered BB cartridges and there were no weapons recovered. And you said those who were firing at them, is it people, the 60 or so people who were maybe in a certain formation, firing at them from behind those who were killed? Are you listening to me? Behind those who were killed. And so I would want the investigators to see if I believe that they have preserved the bodies so well, so that they are able to tell, because it is easy for the police, definitely the police would have to investigate this. And during the investigation, they should be able to tell the point of impact, the approximated distance from which the weapons were fired.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who understands ballistic, the approximated distance before impact. So if I'm here, and let's say it's 10 meters from here, or I'm here and it is 2 meters from here, the impact they are able to determine that at this, and they can actually even run a test to tell the point of impact before you could see that penetration, or that's a person's head getting exploded at the point of impact. And also they should be able to duster those who have been killed, whether they were closer to anybody who was firing, and even BB cartridges even emits a lot more gunpowder. So they should be able to determine whether those who were killed actually had any gunpowder on themselves. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I'm only saying this so that the report should be able to tell us what happened.
But
because
there's a likelihood of what you're asking, the evidence should be tampered with, considering who carried the injured or the victims to the hospital.
Well, it's possible if they haven't cleaned them up.
I mean,
what I'm saying is that usually they are supposed to preserve.
Because this analysis you're making is so critical.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that so that it's also a form of educating the public, so that people just don't end up saying, oh, they were armed. We are just taking what the military said, simplicity. Take it that way, whether you like it or not. But these are human beings.
Yes.
You don't want people getting killed in the hands of our own procured weapons given to soldiers. Of course, self-preservation is important. So if they were firing at the soldiers, then you say the soldiers would have the right to self-defense, isn't it? But we should be able to establish if indeed they were closer to anybody who was firing. Do you understand me? Either they were the firers, or they should be closer to somebody who was firing. If I'm closer to you and I'm firing, chances are that, depending on the direction of the wind, so let's say we don't know how many people were firing, but let's say 60 people, 10 of them were firing. It means that they would be in different locations. So whatever it is, some of the people who died, or most of them, should have some residue on themselves. And at the point of impact, we should know how close were these people who fired, the soldiers who fired, how close were they? Because I'm also hearing that these guys knelt down when the soldiers accosted them. I mean, these are allegations. They knelt down in a surrounder form.
Really?
Yes, I'm hearing, that's why I'm saying that these are all things that needs to be investigated, because a source from Obuasi actually said these guys actually knelt down when they accosted them. They said, they mentioned one of the disused sites for AGA or so. So they knelt down when they accosted. I think it's happened severally. The soldiers will get there and get them away and sacked them. But they knelt down and in the surrender front raised their hands, and it looks like the soldiers engaged them before they sprayed bullets into them. That is the allegation. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But in these things, you have a lot of information coming. And when you see the bullet wounds don't look like bullet wounds that someone will suffer from a distance.
A distant
from a distance.
Yeah.
This looks like very close.
Close proximity.
The person, and when you look at the type of, the bullet wounds look so similar. And it looks like either they were kneeling or they were lying, I'm not too sure. But looking at it, like they took a lot of, several bullets went through.
So this investigation President is seeking to, conduct will need some very serious experts, forensic.
Yeah, so the police, they've got them.
Expertise.
Yeah, they've got them. They have, the police have their ballistic units. You need, the pathologists, they will go into, and then the ballistic people will come in to do examination of this exam. They will measure the diameter. They will do, and AK-47 bullets have, they have they have different dimensions. Yeah. And so they should be able to determine whether, what exactly happened.
Okay.
So for me, I think this thing shouldn't have happened. I wouldn't, looking at what Major Mama suffered, in the hands of people, and that led to his death. You don't want anyone in uniform being hit by a bullet. But the same way, I would say that there's a lot I know, right? With regards to, I came on this program to talk about, I'm not too happy about the military setup. I wouldn't want to go there because there are a lot of things that are supposed to happen and they are happening. But I think that I won't want to delve too much. They should happen as soon as possible because the intel I'm picking is not very good. I think a lot should happen quickly because we don't want a repeat of this where we begin the year. Doesn't matter whether we have a new government that has been formed. People dying in this gory manner, and all we see, I have seen the military statement that says, if necessary, preserve life. They said one military officer took a pellet, from the Galamseyers who fired at them. I'm not too sure, because all these things are going to be investigated, and they must be investigated because from what I'm seeing, casually look at the bodies, looks like these people were shot at very close proximity. From what I'm seeing, unless of course, have you seen the injuries that they suffered?
No, I've refused to watch. But just in case you're seeing some of the, videos, they are blurred, but still viewer discretion is advised because some of you, even with blurred photos, you are still not comfortable. So if you cannot really watch, okay, some are on your screen. But the very close impact videos,
Yes, so you can see very close because definitely once. And I'm saying this because this is something anybody who understands ballistics. Once if the people were holding guns, obviously the place is got armed officers, so they won't come close to soldiers or come close to police, so they will be at a distance. Really? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Are you sure about that though?
No, what I'm saying is that they will be at a distance. So the point of impact should look like taking that bullet from a distance.
Okay.
But when the point of distance
looks like it's close,
it's so close for comfort, then I begin to doubt myself and say, who would hold a weapon and be flashing the weapon in front of a soldier who is armed? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I have a weapon. I know there's a soldier man in this room. He has a weapon. And the soldier knows that if I get him, I'll kill him. And I come so close.
Okay.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, let me engage my regular guests as well. It was very necessary to bring in our security.
It's very interesting conversations, even though there are some things I do not agree with. Where do we even start this issue from? I think first it's very important to to express our sincerest condolences to those who have lost their lives. I don't think there's any reason under the sun that anybody should lose their lives, especially over something this flimsy. But when there's a loss of life, especially to this degree, it's very important that we are very honest and responsible and try to identify the root cause and the immediate causes of these issues. I actually took some time to look at the very gruesome images that have been making rounds on social media. And the only part of your submission I would not agree with is that I don't believe they were kneeling down. They were kneeling. Okay. See, when you look at some of the injuries that they suffered, most of them were even injuries to the legs. If you look, I saw about 3 of them who had died, who had been shot in the leg. It will be very difficult to get that shot from a standing shooting at somebody that's kneeling down. And then to me again, I refuse to believe that we live in a country where the military will shoot people that are kneeling down. That for me is very difficult for me to believe. I can't believe it. And so far the videos and pictures I've seen do not seem to support that story. It's just, I mean, as you said, everybody knows what took them there. And so maybe we should, but I think it's very important that we talk, because there are lots of people that I feel like are very culpable in this issue. There are people in the media that were inciting these people to do that. See, if you want something done, you want to take over AGA, there's always a legitimate way of doing it. There's a way of doing it without putting your life needlessly in harm's way. That's all we are trying to prevent. I don't see why anybody should lose their lives because they wanted to make an attempt at going to find gold. There's no surety that you're even going to get anything. But I mean, we've just gotten out of an election cycle. A lot happened during the campaign, and so I feel like there's still a lot of spillover with that. I've also come across very disturbing videos that of people telling these people, and the funny thing is I saw one of the gentlemen who went to the place. I don't think he suffered any injuries, granting an interview. Then I see a video of the NDC Women's Organizer for Boase talking to a group of people there, discussing how basically I don't know if I can crave your indulgence.
That's a video.
Not this one. No, before, during the campaign. Yes, I'll send it to you. I don't know if it's something that's not this one. This one, she identifies herself as the women's organizer in the video, and she's talking about how now the NDC has won. Their father, President Mahama, is in office and whatnot. So the youth should be assured that they will be given access to the AGA concession. I feel like a lot of these statements coming from high political actors, it's very irresponsible. You know the place is guarded by the military. So why are you inciting them? What I find the most, I mean, even embarrassing to Ghanaian journalism in total is the video I saw of a journalist who I will not name drop here, from a station who I will not name drop here, inciting the people that Omoye Mema, Omuntinsi. What do you expect to get of this? We are not blaming anybody, but the people that incited these people to go and lose their lives should not be left out of this conversation.
There were media houses that
were
doing that.
I'll send you the video. It's something that I don't think should be shared. The video of the women's organizer I'll send to you. If that we can play it, will be perfect. But the video of the journalist, I'll send it to you privately and you can look at it. That same person has also been on record saying that the Ghanaian military people are not strong and they'll be beaten by Mali. See, you are saying these things innocently, innocuously, hoping that it's just going into the airways. But there are young people who listen to you religiously and actually take, I don't know, attach a lot of importance to the things you say. So I think the little thing that we can learn on the back of this is to be all responsible, whether as politicians, whether as journalists. Let's draw a line to what we can do politics with and what we cannot. It looked like the NDC government, the NDC party in opposition at that time, told everybody, every different group of Ghanaian, whatever they wanted to hear, to be able to win that election. And sadly, these are some of the spillovers that are happening. We all heard the issues that happened in Ada with the taking over of the source thing. So if you look at this incident, it looks like it's part of a chain of incidences that have been occurring since the election, where NDC supporters try to take over a state institution or try to take over, at this point, a private organization by force. When does it stop? Obviously, nobody is going to whitewash this or to to side with the military in this issue. Obviously, they are supposed to be more trained in this. They are supposed to have handled their situation better. And obviously, I think at the end of the investigation, everything will become clear, because as Dr. Bona said, a lot of these things, the body is going to tell you. If the hospital is any sort of hospital at all, they will not mess with the bodies, and the pathologists will do very well at it. The coroners in Ashanti region are excellent. They will be able to tell us exactly what happened. And so we are all eager to wait to get the results of the investigation that ensues. But
I mean, we're saying something supposedly supposed to be off air, but it went on air. People heard, you know, agitations and all. But my question is, are military expected to shoot to safeguard
themselves? I think they have the right to defend themselves.
They
I'm not sure.
have been trained to shoot to kill.
Yes.
That is all the military, what we know about the military, unless you tell me something else.
Yes,
that's what they're trained for.
You see, you don't deploy military and give them blank bullets, like rubber bullets.
Yes, they don't do
You don't deploy them and give them
tear
handcuffs.
gas.
You don't give them tear gas. You don't even deploy military with our guns. There's a reason why I still wonder why we have military officers who pull chairs for EC chair, because a military officer who is deployed must have his gun. But you see, for our military, is the reason why, you know, I have been talking about this, that let's get them out of civilian populated areas. Because the longer we keep them in civilian populated areas, you could have these things happening. And so as far as I'm concerned, but that notwithstanding, they are supposed to know better. Well, let me, so that she can continue.
Well, I'm hoping so, though.
Yes.
I'm sure they're supposed to know better, but I still stand by my point. The military is trained to shoot and kill.
Yeah, so maybe they shouldn't have been in the position to be defending those mines. But I think this is not something that is absolutely new. These clashes with the illegal miners in the area and AGA seem to have been ongoing for a while. I don't know if escalations in that is what warranted the introduction of the military, but we've had this discussion before, which, I mean, happened off air, on air.
Yes.
Off and on.
Off and on air.
What I don't know.
It was off and at the same time on.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know
it's been a while
how
since the military
we are so
has been
comfortable
guarding.
deploying the military first before even the police.
No,
I'm thinking of Idra, and Idra was I think it stemmed from the Kaka situation. I'm thinking of Dencho Boise. It was also a military man, supposedly, allegedly supposed to be guarding or guiding a mining site to prevent illegal miners. But our inside information also tells us that he was there for something
else. I mean, obviously, when they are deployed,
we are so comfortable using the military everywhere and anywhere, and day in, day out, we see very bad results of the military clashing with civilians.
Yeah,
and we're still doing it.
It's a sad thing that we are hoping to, but I mean, again, we have to be a little, the circumstances on the ground there. And that's what I'm saying, this is not something that just started. It's been going on since about 2012, 2013, where MOUs were signed for the military to protect some of these mining concessions. So a wider discussion needs to be had. And why is the situation in these mining communities so volatile? Number two, why did we allow this issue to be used so much during the campaign, propaganda and whatnot? I mean, I thought at a point in time we were made to believe that all the illegal mining that was going on in this country was because of of Chairman Wontumi. But now we are seeing a whole group that are supposed or suggested to be NDC illegal miners who are doing this. So obviously the situation is deeper and bigger than that. And now that the election is over, I'm hoping we can start having honest conversations about how to move forward from this situation. Or it's going to keep happening. These people feel like they've been let down, they've been let out, they don't feel like they're enjoying the spoils of the mine. And not to forget, the mine was closed for some time, I think between 2013, 2014, the mine was closed. There were huge complaints. Even the Otumfo Asantehene came out to make some complaints because Obuasi was beginning to look like a ghost town. Yeah. Then efforts are put into place to try and revive this mine, and issues like this come up. So I mean, first, I think politicians need to take responsibility and accountability that some of these things could have been avoided and shouldn't be allowed to go on. Why should you allow your supporters, out of joy and excitement of winning an election, to go on a rampage and to be taking over state institutions. I mean, you've won a democratically elected election. A lot of these institutions are going to be ceded to you anyway. When they went to TOR, Ghana Gas, all of that, these institutions are going to be ceded to you anyway. So what is that show of force for? It leads to some of these things that could have easily been avoided. And the media, as I've already said, that issue, I mean, I hope that there are serious consequences for that for the gentleman who said that, because this is like a direct, and it's not so far away. It looks like a direct response to what you've said. So you've incited violence. You've incited about 8 to 15. We can't even be sure of how many people. Even the bodies I saw in the videos, I'm sure those injured are past the number of 8.
Those injured, as for us last night, were about 15.
Yeah, definitely.
Serious injuries.
Yeah, because even there was a video where they were piling, excuse my language, piling the bodies into a truck. Even there were about 5 or 6 bodies dumped there on that occasion, and then there was one that looked like an emergency room in a hospital with about 5 bodies. Obviously, the dead bodies would not be in the emergency room, so that's another. There was one where I think a nurse or an emergency physician is trying to do CPR, and you can tell that. I mean, the cause is already lost. Yes, it's already gone. So I think he was just trying to put in his best effort, but it was quite obvious that the guy had stopped.
It's our way of also handling the injured sometimes, and
well, yeah,
it can even kill you faster.
Definitely.
Anyway, let me have help coming. You have a barrage of accusations. Yes, accusations that you watched on.
First of all, I'm just happy that President Mahama has called for immediate investigations into what happened in Obuasi. I mean, these are Ghanaians who have been killed. So there's really no reason why we can't get to the root of this, okay? Now, like I said, it's immediate investigations, and I'm sure that in the next few days, we will get the findings of the investigations. When we put a political spin on this thing, like it kills me. In fact, my heart is beating so fast because I'm so sad that people have been killed this way, for whatever reason. If somebody sits somewhere and says, oh, go here. This government was sworn in on 7th of January. I've seen all the statements, including the one from organized labor. But let's not please, because I think one of your newspapers even said these are NDC miners. First of all, how do you even know that these are illegal miners? Because we are all sitting here, we're not there. So if somebody stands somewhere...
He said serving illegal miners.
Look, if somebody stands there who's identifying himself as an organizer somewhere or whatever and says somebody should go and do something, that is an issue that will be dealt with. But let's not put a political spin on it. Because you see, we took over, how many days ago? Today is what, 20th? So 7 minus 20, 13 days ago. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. We are still, finding our feet, etc., etc. Like I said, what has happened is so bad. But when we put a political spin there, it makes me want to go back. Look, these publications, this is Ghana Web. This is October 2022. Military men allegedly shoot at youth, I guess. No, I don't know what they say, at a youth, trying to rescue 20 illegal miners trapped at Obuasi. October 2022. Did NDC send them there as well? I'm just trying to get my facts right, so. Another publication. Soldiers fire shots in clash with angry Obuasi youth. This is May 2023. May 2023, again. Rampaging youth destroy property in Obuasi over detention of illegal miners. Was this also NDC who sent them to go? You see, even when we won the elections, and there were riots and stuff in Kumasi, people were accusing the NDC that it was NDC doing it. And I said, listen, we haven't even taken office. So why can't the police do their job? We are so happy to blame everything on NDC. We saw some of the comments that were made when NPP was in power. Our main concern was, let's deal with this illegal mining. Our main even concern was even the mining in the water bodies. Because when you go to Akwetia and those areas, because I used to go to Akwetia quite often, and you see some of the babies that are being born in hospitals, you ask yourself, why are we doing this to ourselves? In fact, when people were going to demonstrate against this illegal mining galamsey, what did the NPP government do? Arrested them and detained them for how many weeks? Suddenly, women's organizers, so-called, are saying that people should go and take over mines, etc., etc. We shouldn't do that. I think we need to move the conversation beyond how do we ensure that this doesn't happen again. Because this just didn't happen now. It's happened years past, 2021, 2022. In fact, in June 2022, AngloGold Ashanti issued a statement, I can forward that to you, addressing some of these issues. The youth in the town feel like, oh, once you're not using this mine, maybe give it to us to use. I think this calls for maybe more broader and deeper stakeholder engagement with the community. Yes, with the community, with the youth. Do you understand?
Obuasi itself has a youth problem with the mining activity.
Unemployment has been there. We've been in power, like I said, for 13 days. Are we going to solve the unemployment issue now? What has happened is wrong, and I'm hoping that when the investigations are conducted and concluded, we will find out what the real story was. And those who deserve to be punished, I'm sure, will get their just punishment. But please, let's not do this political spin thing. It doesn't help us. We've come from 8 years of an MPP government. We've seen what has happened. I rather now am praying that we will sit with the community in Obuasi. We'll sit with the chiefs, find out. Because when you go to Obuasi, you ask yourself, is this really a gold mining town? Obuasi should be like the way Takoradi is now. But it's not, unfortunately. It's not. So how do we engage with these young people? Because remember, we need these are young people. Oh. We need them to be able to reset Ghana, as we said during our campaign, and build the Ghana that we want. We don't want to send our youth knowing that military are protecting them, protecting these mines, so they go and then they are shot. Like I said, I've seen the videos. I watched the videos yesterday, and I said, these are people's children, people's sons, people's husbands, people's brothers. And more important, these are Ghanaians. We need these youth to be able to help them so that they also help us build Ghana. Why would we incite them and say, go? So please, let's not put political spin on this thing. It doesn't help the discourse at all. What we rather need to find out is why these things keep happening so that we can deal with the issue once and for all.
But her attempt to put a political spin was to say that if a political head had not promised that, well, we've come into power,
Annie,
so
you see,
we'll give
if
you
you listen to President Mahama, he never said he would allow anybody to continue to do Galamsey. He never. I was on the campaign trail for weeks. Please, I beg you. I was very, very quiet when you were talking. Let me flow because the way my heart is beating. We didn't promise anybody that will give them Galamsey to do. Galamsey is illegal mining. What we kept on talking about was responsible mining. I've seen this organized labor statement, and they're talking about blah, 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 2 weeks. Should I even go on organized labor right now? What didn't they do last year? When they were doing all the hue and cry, did they not backtrack? And that was on illegal mining. They even write the whole thing. President Mahama to ban within 2 weeks all forms of small-scale mining. Annie, do the small-scale miners, don't they pay taxes? Small-scale mining is legal. So maybe they themselves should get their facts right. You see, these things, like, it hurts because we have to move beyond, oh, somebody said, go and take over, go and take over. I was in Ashanti region when people were looting. Did we also come and say they were MPP people? But we condemned that this is not right. What is wrong is wrong. But when we put a political, we can put political spins on a lot of things. We can go as far back as how many years? 8 years? And say some of the things that their former minister said. But we were just engaging in terms of how do we stop Galamsey? When you go to Eastern region and you see cocoa farms, people's houses are even being dug under for Galamsey. That is what we want to fight. So like I said, nobody in the NDC is going to push people and say, oh, go and take over AngloGold Ashanti, knowing well that there are military men there. And like you rightly said, military, they are taught to shoot to kill. Not a policeman who will probably shoot you in the shoulder or use non-lethal rounds or use tear gas. We know how the military operates. So it's an unfortunate situation. Beg you, let's not put a political spin on this thing because it will not help us. What we rather need to do is, how do we solve this Obuasi problem? This Obuasi youth and community problem. How do we solve it? So that no more lives are lost. Whether it's 8, whether it's 9, no, not even one person should be shot. Some of the shots, like Dr. Bonar was saying, some of the shots when you see it, aish,
it was in a close
it's
range.
Like close range and body, like flesh is exploding. I mean, I don't know how else to describe this. If we don't solve the deep-seated problem that has been happening over the years, And you guys, you had 8 years old. This is our 13th day. We will make sure that this does not occur in Obuasi again. That is why I am so happy that our president called immediately, Sunday, this is when this thing came out, that immediate investigation, and I'm sure as we're even talking here, is happening. And I'm sure they'll be calling on eyewitnesses, etc., to give their account, because you and I were not there. But it's easy for, people to say that, NDC said, when take over, etc., etc. Do you understand? Somebody who's identifying as whatever. Wrong is wrong. So let's deal with the issue, because it's deeper than that. Let's deal with this Obuasi issue and make sure that the youth are satisfied, because I feel and I know that there's enough for everyone to go around. In fact, as we've even come to power, we promised lots of jobs and apprenticeships and trying to make sure that these unemployed youth are taking into whatever else they can do. And again, those who want to do mining, all we said was we would advise and, direct you to do proper, responsible mining. There's no reason why you should dam a river and mine there. You saw when there's Erastus, you saw his documentaries.
Yeah.
You saw what the military people even did to him.
Yeah. Yeah, we even spoke with him.
Yeah. Look at our water bodies, Annie. So
Ambassador Sampiale
look, let's
said,
deal with the deep-seated issue, and let's wait for the
fundamental
president's call for investigations to be completed.
Right.
Then, because I don't think that anybody will be shielded. President Mahama is not like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So if indeed somebody did incite them, that person will be dealt with. But for now, let's not do the spin. People have died. People have died.
Ambassador
and it's unfortunate.
Sampiale said that in law, nobody has a right to kill anybody. In fact,
not even criminals, Annie.
Not even criminals who have been, convicted. So since when are we going to learn that the military are not trained for civilian protection? Where is Ghana police? The army has killed far too many people in recent times, and that is not acceptable at all. Ambassador Sampiale sent this in. Mark from USA, good morning to you. Mark says that, good morning, Annie. The Obuasi situation is very sad. The military's response should have been guided by the principles of proportionality, necessity, and distinction. These principles aim to minimize harm to civilians and ensure that the military's action were lawful and ethical. Principles guiding military response. 1. Proportionality. The military's response should be proportionate to the threats posed by the civilians. Returning fire is only justified if it is necessary to prevent harm to the military personnel or others. 2. Necessity. The military should have also used force when it was necessary to achieve a legitimate military objective to defend themselves or others from imminent harm. Distinction. The military should have distinguished between civilian and combatants. They should not target civilians who are not directly participating in the violence. Military rules or engagements, that's a ROE, that's military role, are guidelines that dictate when and how military personnel
rules of engagement, that's ROE.
Can use force. So ROE typically emphasize the need to minimize harm to civilians and use proportionate force. Mark from USA sent that in, explaining into details what it actually the military should have done.
And Annie, and again,
yes.
If I can just chip this in. You see, Dr. Bona was talking about, if I wasn't even him just talking, but reading from here that they recovered BB cartridges.
Yes.
So they didn't recover any guns? No. From the so-called illegal,
no.
Allegedly illegal, they didn't recover guns?
No.
So they shot the people, and the people who they shot who were
holding
injured were still holding their guns?
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Probably the gun's still in the hospital.
It doesn't make sense.
No,
it doesn't make sense. Because if you recover cartridges, you didn't
recover
guns.
The guns.
And they even said they were carrying what? Cylinders and, gas cylinders and,
Yes, but if it falls, if you have overcome...
They said BB cartridges are different from empty BB.
Spent cartridges.
Cartridges. There's a
difference.
So
they didn't
what they have are live rounds, which they are claiming
for military to write this. If they were spent, they would have written it in.
If they were spent,
they should
have stated.
But I'm saying an argument we are all speculating here, but an argument can be made that the other people took the guns away, isn't it?
The people who were injured, they took their guns away.
It was a mob of over 100 people.
No, they said 60.
60.
From their
Yeah,
statements.
okay, a
They
mob
said
of 60 people. 10 are shot. Won't the others recover the guns? Because guns are prized possessions. I'm saying you can look at it that.
Let me
So are
ask
we
you.
saying that there were no guns?
Let me
That's
ask you.
what you're trying to say.
If we were together, and one of us were
Was
to
shot.
take a bullet, you would come to recover the gun.
I'm
I'm asking you.
not in the
No,
mind of
no,
it.
I'm asking
I've
you.
never
No,
dealt
I'm
with that
just
kind of
asking you.
thing.
I'm just asking you.
It depends. It depends on
No,
how
no,
valuable
no,
the
no,
gun
no,
is.
No,
You see
no,
that-
no.
that
Your life is more
for
valuable.
every human being.
Yeah.
You are
Let's
with
not
a friend,
insult our intelligence
and
with this
a
thing.
friend, you are carrying weapons and one is shot. Probably you are fleeing and one is shot. You go back to recover when the bullets are still
You'll
flying.
be running.
You will run for your life.
Because
And
I don't
mind
believe
you
they
that
stopped
the
shooting when
military
those people were
statement
shot.
Is vague, is hollow.
Yeah,
Because
so let's
when you
wait
look
for
at it,
proper
they say
investigation.
to preserve life if necessary. It means they have no business being there. It means their first priority being there is not to preserve life.
It's to protect.
Because they are saying that to preserve life,
If necessary.
if necessary,
Yes.
to preserve life. Life must always be preserved. Because you see, the rule of natural justice, self-preservation, is important. So you will preserve your life and attempt to preserve the other person's life. So when you write,
Yeah, but
in the
that
fourth paragraph-
comes to confirm
You see, this
what we're
one,
saying,
it
that the
shouldn't even
military
have come out
is
the way it
trained
did.
to
It shouldn't. It
shoot and kill.
more about it.
They are not about preserving life.
Yeah, so
they are about
they say to
killing.
Protecting the property, yes.
So
I'm
why
sure there
are
are
they there
orders
in the
there.
first place?
There are orders there was probably to protect. I mean, I think with
to
the
protect,
issue,
not to protect the. So they are there to protect the gold and not
The
even
property.
the AGC workers themselves.
I
Because
think they were
what they have written means that they are being there
To protect
is
the
to
gold.
protect just the gold, nothing else. That is how hollow and empty their statement
yeah.
is.
I mean, I think we expect more from them.
Yeah,
The
their statement is
investigation
very
come
like
out.
I'm saying.
People are dead.
There are also messages I've received from people that work inside the mine. I'm saying I'm not, in no way was I trying to politicize this issue. There's obviously a political twist. There's always been this issue of the people in Obuasi, especially the youth, being disgruntled with Anglo Gold and feeling like they are not getting sufficient access to the resources on their land. This has always been an issue. The difference now is that it was one of the issues that the current government campaigned to the people of Obuasi on. And anybody who is aware of the situation knows it.
They
And I've sent
campaigned
you-
to them.
Yes, and
I
I've
went
sent
to
you
campaign
2
in
videos
Obuasi.
on that.
What
I
happened?
sent
What
you
did you
2
tell them?
videos
No.
to that
You see,
tone.
I would
The
want-
message I received from one of the miners, I don't know if I can read it, but it also says that was the atmosphere when they were going there. Their government is in power. So till we
Okay,
are
so-
honest
so-
about these
So that
issues,
I'm trying
to tackle the issue
Okay,
head
my
on, I
time
don't
is
think
my
we are
time
going
is
to-
up. But to have a number of 60 youth beseeching a mine site, what happened to intelligence?
Exactly.
But Annie,
So you see,
exactly. And you see, that's
a week prior, I picked some, and that's why I said there's a lot I can say. But I just think that per what my fellow panelists just said. You see, once we tilt towards that angle, then it means that they were intentionally killed.
No.
Now I'm coming. I'm not saying that is what you are
that's
saying.
true, because
I'm
if
not
you
saying
put
that
a
is what you
political
are
spin, it means
saying.
they're
But the
entities, so kill
moment
them.
we say that, because you know the tension that characterized our elections and how the military themselves sensing that there could be bloodshed and decided that they would not be in frontline election duties. Okay. So
But
we
they
also
were,
we
though.
also do
They were.
know that we have
Oh, they were.
people in uniform who affiliate to both
parties,
parties.
yes.
So what it means is that, okay, sir, per what you are saying, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say that is you are trying to justify their killing. But if we are to go by that analogy, that someone said something, and that is why they went there. And so if I am a soldier who
I'm probably sitting there and say, okay,
who does not believe in what these people said because I'm against them, and you come, and I believe that you are coming because of what they said, and I have a weapon, I'll kill you.
No, but on principle, that is
So
wrong.
so
You
what I'm
shouldn't
trying
kill
to say
anybody
is that
for
let's
believing.
not justify because if we are not careful,
It is very interesting
tomorrow it will
that now
happen
on
again
the
and we'll end
issue
up there.
of Galamsey, that now that the shoe is on the other foot, the conversation is
you see,
changing.
it's not
What
about
I am
the issue
saying
of
with all of
Galamsey.
this, it's
It's
not to
about this
justify
issue.
their killing. Let me just
it's
make
about
it
just
clear
this issue.
because we are on TV. It is not to justify their killing. It's
it's
terrible
just
that
about
8
this
people
issue.
lost their lives.
Do you remember Joe Osei Wutu's comments?
It's it's
Do you remember
terrible.
Joe saying? Okay, but do you remember Joe saying Wusu's comment that shoot to kill?
And listen, something I never agreed with. I think it has come up on your show before in the old studio, and I said it's something I never agreed with.
He even had a second opportunity to confirm or deny that. He said, yeah, he still stand by the
Yeah. So I do not agree with that. But what I'm saying is to be able to deal with this issue, if we were able to watch the 2 videos, it would put the thing in perspective. Because one of the people sitting at this meeting granted an interview to another media house recently after the incident to say that he was there. So don't you think the easiest way to deal with these disgruntled youth will be for the people that they hold some allegiance to talk to them that, okay, we'll find a legitimate way of giving you the land. Don't go and try and take it over. Don't you think that's an easier thing to do than to sit here and then speak in vacuum like we don't know what actually is happening? That's what I'm talking about. Nobody's trying to justify. There's no way to justify any killing.
Okay, you have the last one.
Remember, I mentioned and I said that we need to have these consultations with the community and the youth to find out what it is that they're looking for. Nobody's going to justify this thing. Nobody's justifying it. But let's find out, how do we move forward on this? Do you understand? The shoe is on the other foot, yes. We say we will tackle illegal mining. And you see, I keep saying there's a difference. Small scale illegal mining and mining in the water bodies. Whole different game. We've seen what has happened in the past 8 years. We will address this issue because it is more deep-seated.
The confusion
than
stems
saying
from
that people should just go because their party is in power. It's
small-scale mining, and then we have community mining.
We have community mining. That's what I'm saying. That you see, we all, of course, let's not sit here. We're not there, but let's engage the youth in Obuasi. They have an MP. In fact, he's an MPP MP. We campaign in Obuasi. We didn't tell the youth that, when we come, enter AG and go and do whatever you want. That would be so irresponsible on our part. In fact, the middle ground people who listened to our policies and voted for us would even have shunned us. Do you understand? So those would be unfortunate comments that anybody from our side will make. I'm saying we'll engage the Obuasi youth because this thing has happened before, again and again. We do not, and President Mahama will not want this to continue. Let's deal with it. In fact, let's tackle the base issue because there must be something underlying there. They want something. They feel like, they need to get a share of what happens in Anglo. We're not saying they should go and take over, but engagement. Right. I think that is how these things will stop. Right. So that we don't get Ghanaians of any whatever being shot in the way that they were shot and killed.
Okay, so we didn't have enough time to go through oral and all. Updates have come, but maybe continuing tomorrow, we definitely might make some time for it. Today, you wanted to say?
Yes, I think that there still has to be some changes at the military high command because some of these things are very disturbing. And for me, it's not gratifying seeing Ghanaians. I don't know how innocent they are, but just like one of your testers said, even now we have outlawed the death sentence. And so when you are convicted, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. It means that even our legal system cherishes the rights to live, and so no soldier trained or should take the laws into his own hands and kill these people in this gory manner. And so for me, some of us are still expecting to see some changes at the military high command because that is the only way some of us will trust the system. Because then, like I said, there's a lot I know about this that won't be for the general public. It will be discussed. Not on air. Yes, I won't even sit here and say it off air. With this sense, you say it when you are we do a lot behind us, and I think there still has to be changes at the high command because these things, even if you look at their statement, very old. These things were happening during the apartheid regime in South Africa, and then you have people dying at mines, disused mines, and then you write a statement like this. Respectfully, Brigadier General Agrekwashi, this statement, I don't know whether he gave it to one of his trainees to write, but it doesn't, how can people be carrying cylinders? Are cylinders bombs? These are,
maybe for gas explosion.
You got it. Maybe so these are the things they recovered. And they said that people were shot in the mines. And so I think this thing should be I just think that a lot should happen at the high command. Most of the people there have said, don't deserve probably to be in command positions. Let's put them in various offices to be doing other
So who
things,
carried those who were shot in the mines to the hospital? It was who? The military?
I saw videos that suggested that they were assisting in treating the injured. I don't know if you
and so
the
military shot them and carried them.
That is, you see, that as a military officer,
because
when
you kill somebody, you have
if you are well trained, you have shot the person, you know, probably the person is dead. A medical doctor would have to be someone who would certify to say the person is dead. But at that point, when you should have invited the police,
yes.
Because so straight away they themselves started tampering
with
the
evidence. They were trying to provide first aid.
No, it's not first aid. When someone whose head has exploded on impact has exploded, obviously we don't have headless people walking in Ghana.
No, I'm not talking about that. The video I saw, it looked like there were 2 injured people on the ground with an army officer who I
that would be different.
So that's the only one I'm speaking.
So we're talking about those
that would be different. But
those that were shot,
those who were dead and they were loaded them,
into the car.
As a military officer in a democratic Ghana, what they should have done was to wait for the police to come. Secure the scene, because at that moment you need the homicide unit to come in and you preserve, if you were not hiding anything, preserve the evidence.
Wait, I have a question. Is that for the military police or
no, that's the military police. The military police, they have nothing to do with us civilians. So you have the Ghana Police Service, they are in charge by law to do these things. So once these things happen, unless of course you suspect the person still has life in him and maybe you want to, but those who, some of them exploded on impact, you carried them in a very disturbing manner into trucks and transported them. And so my question is that they themselves, if you are trained as a military officer, properly trained, they go on peacekeeping. I'm expecting that you preserve the crime, because it's a crime scene.
Yes.
What has happened is a crime.
The chain of
they did it.
The chain of evidence or something like that.
Look at it. Okay. They tampered with, and so that's why I was saying, who knows? They might have tampered badly with the evidence, because they should have waited for the police to come. They should have just called in of the police for the police to come. Then we will say, but at the moment, I'm just wondering what kind of report would actually be received.
I think the coroners will still be able to do a good job. Just
know,
looking at
I
the
hope so,
injuries,
yes,
you'll be able to tell the direction.
But first-hand information and evidence would have helped.
Oh yes, I mean, obviously, everybody wants to see more from this investigation. There are so many questions that are left.
Investigations will be mediated.
Okay, so Metro TV will continue its coverage of the vetting activities today. We'll see Haruna Idrisu Gavins Agboja vetted today, and Eric Opoku. So Gavins is going for Minister Designate for Roads and Highways, Haruna Idrisu Minister Designate for Education, and Eric Opoku is going Minister Designate for Food and Agriculture. The vetting process will continue Tuesday as well, where we'll have Ahmed Ibrahim, Agnes Namomo, and also Elizabeth Fosuejari, who is Designate for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry as well. And it will continue throughout the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then next Monday as well, where Charity Gardner, Minister for Designate for Ahafo Regions, Salisu B. Aribe Isifu Esquire, also Minister Designate for Savannah. It continues that way. Metro TV will bring you all the updates there. We'll wrap up here on Good Morning Ghana. Thank you to my guests for making time with me. We'll be back tomorrow with the program. Thanks for watching.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't